What is going on, fam? It is Wednesday. It'll be probably midnight by the time I finish this video because this is like the 6th take at recording this. I really think when I'm doing these vlogs at night, when I'm just kind of running through some things that have gone on, I really just try to do like an outline, just have it on the side of my screen so I know what to go over, because I feel like I'll start jumping around all over the place. But I apologize that it's been a week since I've done one of these. It is really hard to get in the habit of, like I said, of carrying a camera. But even more difficult, it's taking a camera and holding it out in front of you, like this. And then walking around talking to this camera while people look at you. Because you're talking about the setup, you're talking about the event, you're talking about your random thoughts, all while you're holding a camera out, really talking to you guys, just not right at that current moment. And people look at you funny because they don't realize that, some don't maybe realize what vlogging is. Some have no idea what you're doing or why you're doing it. So it's a kind of like a social fear that I have to get over. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna work on it, and I'll get over it eventually. And we'll get to the point that we'll be doing these things daily. So what has been going on? Well, OG broke. Don't know really what's going on with OG. And for those that are just tuning in for the first time, OG is my lawnmower. It's go back, watch the very first vlog. You'll find out who OG is. I got to figure out what's going on there. I think I might just take him over to the shop, let them figure it out, because summer has arrived here in Northern Virginia. It's hot. It's been humid. We've been getting the storms, and not the storms where it rains and it's cool. It rains and it's just like, it's still disgusting. So it doesn't even knock the humidity out. It's been nasty here. So OG broke. Kind of got a couple new things going on. Not really new things going on. New pieces of gear in. Nothing really too exciting. Nothing to really write home to, as they say. I got a new backpack in, where I'm gonna use for my second laptop. I got these mics. Dual mic adapters in, or what they call a microphone bar from K&M. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. But we needed these for a graduation, or a couple graduations we're doing, where we're having to set up a couple mics over top of like the band and the orchestra to pick them up using some overhead mics. But I really didn't want to set up two mic stands. I wanted to kind of just do one and be able to have, bounce it around from location to location as we need to be, or as we need to. And so they make these dual mic adapter kits where essentially this middle piece right here threads onto the mic stand, and then you have your two sides where you can put the microphone clips to put the mics. And that was my full intention to use, my full intention of what I was going to use these for. But then I thought about it. GoPro recently has done an entire series of adapters based around a musician. So they make an adapter now where you can mount a GoPro to a mic stand, which is how we've been mounting our GoPros lately, because it's really just quick and easy to throw a GoPro on a mic stand. We have the mic stands with the arms, so we either put the GoPro straight up and then tilt them down, or we can kind of put the arm out into the crowd a little bit and get some different and cool shots. So we thought about possibly putting two GoPros on this to either maybe get two angles of the dance floor, or even going kind of like this direction, where one would be coming onto the DJ booth, so you kind of can see the show that's going on back there, and then also see the crowd's what's going on in the crowd. So I thought that might be kind of a cool angle to do, where we could do a recap video where you would see the people dancing and reacting in the crowd, but then you would also see what's happening backstage, maybe like in the very bottom corner of the video or something like that. So you never know, but these are really nice. These are there's a lot of these out there in the market, and these are full aluminum. I mean, they're strong. I have two of them. I mean, I can't even bend the things. So definitely they're very nicely built, and I think they're only like $14 on Amazon. So what else has been going on? Let's see. Memorial Day weekend, we had a little bit of cookout with the fam. Not really a cookout. We got some crabs, got some shrimp, and just kind of really pigged out, and we had some really good conversations there. Some really funny stories came up. And I really wish I would have just vlogged some of that, because that would have kind of been cool to show you guys, my family, my mom and dad a little bit more, and kind of hear some history about us, history about them, some fun family stories. Because the whole point of the vlog is kind of show you behind the scenes. We kind of bring you into our lives a little bit and show you guys, you know, the other side of us other than the going out and DJing every weekend. This weekend's going to be crazy busy. I'm definitely going to vlog. We have a couple things going on. I have my pub gig on Friday. Saturday we have yet another school dance. And we will finish the school dance at midnight. And from there we will tear down. It should take us about 2.5 hours to tear down. And we will literally leave that venue and then head straight over to Reston Town Center for the 2014 American Diabetes Association is doing a Tour de Cure. And it's a bike ride benefiting you know, diabetes research and raising money for diabetes research and everything for the American Diabetes Association. So if you guys haven't had a chance to go to one of those bike rides, you don't have to be a bike rider to go. There's so many things going on at Reston Town Center for the event that, you know, you don't have to be someone that's going to ride a bike. And even if you do want to participate, they have different miles for people of all athletic abilities. You know, so you don't need those. You don't need to be in the tight spandex with the bikes with little tiny wheels and the carbon fiber frame. You can just go out in a t-shirt and some basketball shorts and just ride the 5 mile or ride the, you know, just ride. You're riding for a cure. And usually the last one we did, I think the longest distance was, I think, 50 or 60 miles. And this one actually has a bike ride that's over 100 miles, which is crazy to think that, you know, to be, I would love to be in that kind of shape to where I could go ride a bike for 100 miles. I mean, I guess, you know, people do train for those triathlons and those 5 and 10K runs. So, I mean, I guess it does make sense for a bike ride to be that long. But that just seems like that's a lot of pedaling. So, if you guys want to come out Reston Town Center this Sunday, we'll be, I think the doors or gates open at 5:30 and it goes until 4:30 in the afternoon. So there'll be a lot of stuff going on. We'll have our photo booth out there. I'm not DJing. I'm just going to be running sound and letting stuff play. So if you guys want to come on out, it's a great cause. Definitely come out and show support. I know I have family members and friends with diabetes, and I'm sure you probably guys know someone too. So it's a great cause. If you guys are in the Northern Virginia area, swing on by, stop by, say hey. I might be asleep because I'm gonna be exhausted, but maybe I'll sneak some Red Bulls. I really want to pull out the sugary drinks in front of everybody. So I might be awake. 5-hour energy shots definitely are my friends on those long weekends. So I'm trying to think what else. I know we did the, I asked you guys to ask me some questions on the past video, and I got a lot of questions. Some of the questions I can answer pretty easily. The other ones really, if I would answer them, it would turn into a huge vlog. So I'm gonna go through some of them with you guys and just read them out loud and kind of answer them as I go through them. So first up, John DeFore asked, do you like active or passive speakers best, and what is your favorite passive or active speaker? John, thanks for kicking it off. So really, everything we own right now is active. There's certain circumstances where I think passive speakers would work a lot better because it'd be a lot easier sometimes to have like an amp rack literally sitting right next to a distro versus having to run IEC cables and signal cables. But right now, active speakers are my go-tos. There really isn't anything out there at the current moment that we're looking at that's passive. My choice of active speakers are QSC. It's just because, again, that's what we own. QSC has a great warranty. QSC it sounds good to me. I'm sure there's other great speakers out there, and nothing against them. It's just QSC is what we just have gone with. I've liked them. So, and then Yorkville, we have Yorkville subwoofers. So we have Yorkville subs and QSC subs. I like Yorkville subs for school dances because it gives you that crazy bass. But for weddings and other events, the KW181s from QSC are great subs as well. Charlie Spriggs asked, what was the process you took from being a DJ to a company? In other words, how did you grow your company to acquire your gear, leads, connects, etc.? Thanks. Charlie, that's one of those questions that I really need to do like a full vlog on one day, because it's not something that I can just answer and within 5 minutes. It's not, something that you can just do overnight. It's something that takes time. Our company, a lot of people don't know this about us, is that, I'm trying to think how to go. I don't want to make this a long vlog, and it's hard to even start this story without making it a long vlog. But here, short story, real quick. I used to work a government job. Me and my wife Tracy, or my wife now Tracy, my girl, we were just dating at the time. We were getting more serious, so I took a promotion to a different agency, and it had more money, it had benefits, retirement, everything that you want, and still had the security of a government job. Still, this is in part of the tail end of one of the worst recessions we've had in a long time in the country, and I hated this job I went to. It was awful. There were times, and no joke, I'd come home and I would cry. I would literally just break down, because I wanted to DJ so bad, and I wanted to do that for a living, and I wanted to be able to do these bigger events that I was seeing companies like, Boom Entertainment do, or, Freestyle Events do, and these other big school dance companies. I wanted to be like them. And finally, I talked to Tracy at the time about getting more serious with it and possibly just rolling the dice and going for it. I got Tracy on board. I had my dad on board. My mom wasn't too sure about it. And one of the advices that I had gotten was from my former boss in my agency that I had left to take his promotion. And at the time, I think I was, 20, I'm 28 now, so 28, 27, 26, 25, I was 24, 25, and he told me, he goes, John, he goes, you're 24, 25 at the time, he goes, you're 20, 25, we'll go with that, you're 25, he goes, take the risk now, because if you fail and you fall on your face, you're still young enough, you can bounce back, and you still can start a career, and you still could go for it. He goes, it's better to go for it now than be 35, 40 years old and saying, I should have, could have, would have, and never know that you might be able to take that chance to follow your dream and make something out of it. And I took it. I took the chance, and I did it. And we built everything our company owns today, we built in 3 years. And it's been the hardest 3 years of my life, not financially. The first year and a half was definitely bumpy. But with the support of my wife and the support of my family, I made the jump. And I'll tell you what was the final decision making for me taking that jump to go full time was an email from my mom. And I'm going to try to do this without getting choked up. But my mom had sent me an email supporting me. And that right there, that changed everything for me. And that's what made me take the risk. So it's hard for me to have that conversation right now because of what's going on that I really don't want to fill you guys in on medically with my mom. But yeah, she was the one that really gave me that final push, and that once I had her encouragement and support, I took the jump, and I'm glad I did. I'm not going to cry. There's no way I'm going to cry on camera. So, jumping on Chris, or Charlie, sorry. Charlie, I'll have to do a longer video for that for you. It's a lot harder than just, kind of answering in, one quick shot. Josh asked me, what made you choose beam moving heads over spots for your large school dances? Beams are what's in. Beams are what you see at a lot of award shows right now. Those 5R beams, you can't beat them in. They're so freaking bright. They're so bright. And when you get that real skinny, solid, like narrow beam that just shoots across the venue, it looks cool. It looks awesome. Spots have their purpose. I think beams look better at school dances, and it's just an opinion. But again, if you're doing school dances where you're only doing a couple hundred students, spots are fine because you're not going to be shooting across 130 foot or 150 foot ballrooms. You're working in small cafeterias or stuff like that, and the beam lights be almost an overkill at some venues. So it really depends on a couple things. It depends on the size of your school dances, the venues that you're going to be working within, and the and what your preference is. My preferences happens to be I like the beams. We have spot moving heads. We have wash moving heads. And there are times that I'll use the wash movers with the beams. There are times that I'll just use the spots because you don't need beams. So really, it just comes down to preference. I think beams are really popular right now, and I think they look the coolest to me. That's just my opinion. And also the beams they have a frost filter. So push of a button, that beam will turn into kind of almost a wash. So we can kind of get a little bit more out of them. So, DJ Busta B asked me, what are your next gigs? Can you do a quick section or separate videos showing what all you have hooked up? And I saw you had replied, and you saw a little bit of that. You definitely, maybe this weekend I'll try to remember to pull the camera out and just kind of run you through what's going on behind the scenes. And I saw another question up there, and I'll just jump right into that. He says, how do you run your speakers? I use a Drive Rack PX. Do you come out of a mixing board? So it's really simple. I come out of my Rain 62, and for most of our school dances, I go into my Personas board. And the reason why I do that versus just using the Rain is because I use in-ear monitors for our school dances. And with the in-ear monitors in, it really cuts out every little bit of outside noise. So I only hear what I'm sending to my monitor. So that way I'm able to kind of customize what I'm hearing in my ears with the Personas. I'm able to bring my headphone feed out of my Rain 62 into the Personas mixing board. And I can send that feed into my IEMs. And then I can send my mic, the second mic, a third mic if we use it, into my IEMs. Plus anything else I really need, I can feed into my in-ear monitors. And so that's really what happens is from the Personas board perspective. Also via the Personas, we use what they have. They have smart room analysis built into it, where you take an RTA microphone and you put it on axis in front of one of your speakers, and it gives you a live chart through all the bands of what the room is doing acoustically. So through the RTA, the room analysis, you can kind of flatten that EQ as much as you can and really kind of get a real flat EQ line to work off of. A lot of times people have to do that by ear. I haven't been doing live sound that long enough to be able to do that very well. So it's definitely nice to have, and from there I can kind of then kind of tune it to my likings. So answer your question real quickly. I go from my Rain 62 into my Personas. From my Personas, I send the mains out to our tops, and then I put our subwoofers on one of the subgroups. Andrew Poole asked me, why do you use the DMX program you use over CompuShow? How long did it take from your first school event, or your first school, even to get to the size you are now? Do you have any pictures of the first event so we can see what all you had? You said you tag and sort your music like once a week or so. Can you do a video on that? Yes, I can do a video on that. I use Chavez Show Express because that's what I've started with, and that's what I know really inside and out at this point. I am kind of looking to try out new software once we get done with this prom tour to kind of really see what else is out there. I've never, like I said, I've never used anything else. I've used the old-fashioned boards where you would have 10 channels, and that was channels 1 through 10. You hit next, and you'd have channels 11 through 20, and you know, luckily at that point I wasn't using all these moving heads. It was just a matter of, you know, a couple par cans, and it was really simple. But Copy Show is really, or not, sorry, Show Express is really what I've been on all along for this past three and a half years. I would like to take a look at Copy Show. I'm not a fan of Windows-based products. I definitely prefer a Mac-based product, pretty much because everything we have is Macs. I have 2 PCs, and one of those is to run our Laser and Text Live, and the other one is for our photo booth. So if I don't have to run a Windows-based computer, I avoid it at all costs. But on the flip side is if there's a better program out there that can do more for me, I would definitely be willing to give it a shot if I had to go to a PC and possibly just run Parallels, and that way I still could use a Mac. Because I am a Mac junkie, if you guys have not caught on to that already. But I would like to take a look at Copy Show. I'm going to see if I can either borrow a box from somebody and try it out for a while. I would definitely like to do that. I've also, there's a local company I can get a Hog 3 from. And while I think a whole hog may be totally more than what we need right now, I always like to buy for tomorrow and not for today. And I know some people's mottos are totally against doing stuff like that, but there's been several things that I've done that way that has opened the doors for me to do other things because of buying those you know, spur of the moment purchases like that, or buying the stuff that I really didn't need at the moment because, you know, I was just able to. So I may see if I can rent a whole hog system, or even see if I can, you know, rent this one that's for sale, and just take a week and try it and see how I like it, and see if I think that it could better us. Because ultimately, no matter how cool the program is, I want it to improve our shows. So I mean, if I can just do what I could do now, and it takes the same amount of time, there's really no point for me to try to learn this whole brand new software. Now, if I can take our shows to the next level, and it can make our I'm trying to think how to explain this best. If it somehow make us more efficient from going from all these different setups to different setups, then definitely I'm definitely for trying something new. And kind of to you know, I think I answered your other question. You know, from our first school to even get the size we are now, 3.5 years really. I mean, we hit the ground running, and you hit the ground running with a dream, and it just inspired to do great things. You know, it snowballed for us, and we got, you know, we built up a great list of clients. And yes, I do have a picture of the first school dance we've done, and it's kind of cool to look back at that and look at what we're doing now. And while we're on the lighting thing, I know Stephen Botelho. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. He asked me, he goes, how do you program shows, how do you program a Show Express when you run out of DMX channels? I've used up almost all my channels, and I'm running into this issue soon when I buy more lighting fixtures. Thanks, and I love the video. Stephen, thanks for watching. It's real easy. You buy a second Show Express box, and from there you would then create a second universe of lights. So if you have, you know, channels 1 through 512, and you need more, that second universe would then start, you know, another 1 through 512. You would run 2 DMX cables at that point. So that's how you do it. I think if you're not part of the Show Express group on Facebook, definitely join up on there. And there's a lot of great videos that I've done, which I'm sure you've seen if you're on my YouTube page. But there's a lot of other great information and great tips and tricks and stuff like that people, and even profiles to some lights that people have shared on there. So go on, if you're on Facebook, look up Chavez Show Express and Idea Sharing, I believe it's called. And that's one of the Facebook groups for that. Brian Diaz asked, could you make any videos of how to mix, or how you mix are how to mix songs. Where do you get your music? I hope you make the video. What? So that's a question. DJ, thank you. Have a good day. How to mix or how to mix. Really, look online. There's so many videos on YouTube on how to mix, how to scratch, the art of scratching, counting beats, understanding the structures of music. Take a YouTube search on that. You can find so much for that. I mean, that's how I learned, by watching videos. I learned by having a couple DJs, work one-on-one with me. I've taken classes in Ableton, and I've taken classes on how to DJ. And I've kind of taken all that knowledge and I pieced together bits and pieces. And I don't think I'm the greatest DJ. I don't think I'm the worst DJ. I'm just another guy out there playing music, and I'm just doing what I love. Really, that's really what it is. So take a look on YouTube. You can find so much stuff out there. Joe Hamshaw asked, "Do you like the EV ETX line?" I don't know. I haven't heard it. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've been so busy because I think that debuted in NAMM. I think it was. I've been so busy with the school dances. I just haven't paid attention to the new speakers. I know EV makes a great product, so I'm sure it's a great line. I think the LCD readout on the back and the ability to kind of have the built-in DSP on there is kind of definitely a plus. But again, I haven't heard them. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on them. I know we probably are going to be looking at a new set of tops, and I'll probably take a look at the ETX series. I definitely will take a look at the Yamahas because I've heard great things from those. Brandon Granello asks, "Can you do a tutorial on how to VJ or VDJ?" is what he said. And what's your view on school-friendly music? I do a lot of school gigs, and I get requests for songs that shouldn't be played at a school, and what should I do? Run. VJing. I'm really not a great VJ. I wouldn't consider myself a phenomenal DJ or a phenomenal VJ. I'm trying to think of a couple guys' names. Eloy and Josh. I forget Josh's name. Josh Carl. Josh Carl are two phenomenal VJs. They're up here on the East Coast. They did video report on remixreport.com, and I don't know if they're still doing them now, but they have some archived videos that they have done. Take a look at those. There's so many things out there for VJing. I really couldn't even tell you, even give you really any suggestions for that. I mean, I use Serato and I use Mix Emergency when we have the VJ. Mix Emergency has what's called the Media Bank, which is similar to what Serato has for the media folder. So if I pull a track or a remix or a song that doesn't have a video for it, it'll randomly pull something out of that video a media bank. So for schools, that may consist of just ambient video. It may consist of kind of video loops with their logos. So really, I'm not the best person to ask on that. But there's definitely some people out there that really could. So maybe we can do a video with one of the guys and link up with them on YouTube, and hopefully they can maybe give us some more suggestions on that. As far as school-friendly music, learn how to edit your own music. You don't have to dive fully into Ableton. I do use Ableton a lot. I use it a lot to just clean up tracks. I use it a lot to just kind of add some stuff to tracks, whether it's an extra snare or if I want to do like a clap intro, or if I want to do intro or outros to a certain track. I use Ableton a lot for that. I don't really do remixes on Ableton, but you can just do simple edits using like Audacity if you wanted something simple. But if you wanted to kind of get into a little bit more advanced editing, definitely check out an Ableton class. I think they may offer some of them online. They may have online video series. Heck, you might be able to find Ableton tutorials on YouTube. So again, that might be something I might just do a quick vlog on, just on how to edit out tracks. there are some music, some songs that we just absolutely can't play at a school. It's impossible. But the way I kind of work around some of those tracks is I'll try to find an EDM version of them. That works well in my market. Now, some other markets, if I tried that, I'd probably get booed off stage. So it varies from market to market, but some of the ways that I try to tackle that is either by finding an EDM version, a trap version, a dubstep version, a redrum of them, something to take the song from its original state into something faster or something different to be able to please these students, but also, the most important person is you need to make sure you please those sponsors and the faculty and the administration. So there's a fine line there, but remixes, definitely get in on the remixes and look at those. Going back to Brian real quick, I know he asked where do I get my music. I'm a member of way too many music pools, but to list off a few, DMS, Direct Music Service, DJ City, I-12-inch, Club Killers, Crooklyn Clan, CrackForDJs.com, net, what's the other one? Beat. It's Beat something. I'm drawing a blank on it. But there's so many music pools out there. I'm not a real big fan of the promo only pools. They're great if you're looking for the kind of just like a bulk CD or bulk downloader. But I've always been the kind of person I'd like to go through and find music and listen to it and kind of find something I think would fit well, because ultimately you're building your set based off of how you're reading the crowd. But how you read that crowd is going to be how you interpret music that you think would work. So I think, just by getting bulk downloads doesn't work. I think, being able to go through and listen, that's something I enjoy doing. I try to do it on my Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I go through my music pools and, damn, this vlog's already 30 minutes already. Go through my music pools, listen to stuff, see what edits are out there, and try to find stuff I like. Sometimes I may find 2 remixes of the same song, but I may like the first half of one and I like the second half of the other. So I'll jump in Ableton and I'll kind of put those 2 tracks together. So that's really kind of the questions I really could get to. There's some of them that, like I said, needed a longer one. And Divine Sound and Lighting, I see you on there all the time, brother. He goes, why don't you take a lawnmower with you to your gigs and use it there as well? Laughing out loud. I mean, since you would be way too old to carry around a blanket like Linus, just strap down and ratchet the truss top of the trailer and make room for you to hover around your scooter in there, JC. I thought about it. We joke about it, but we have talked about it as a joke. And a couple of these graduations were renting either golf carts or some UTVs, and I was having trouble finding one on one date, and I was like, hell, push come to shove, I will take OG out there with the wagon hooked up, and that's what I'll use to move gear around as need to. So that's it. This has turned into a 30-minute vlog of me just rambling. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around. I apologize for not doing these as much as you may like, and as much as I would have liked to. So really, that's all I got for you. I found out a lot of my clients watch these too. So that's really cool, because we did the wedding on both Saturday and Sunday, and they both were like, "Oh my God, I watched your vlog. I saw you on YouTube. You were amazing. It was so cool to see the behind the scenes." And it's kind of cool. That's the whole point of this, is to kind of take you on, take you on the journey with us. I mean, a lot of you guys who DJ for a living or DJ as a second job, kind of know the behind the scenes and know, what it's like. Some of you haven't got into the bigger school dances, so it's kind of cool to see them from that perspective. And hopefully, we pick up some new people that are, curious or are looking to get into the DJing world. Or even just may find, what we do is interesting, or find watching me for 30 minutes, ramble at 11:51 at night interesting. So for that, I appreciate you guys coming along with me. As I say, my Angelo died or passed away today, And there's a great quote from her. I put it up on our Facebook page, our business page, and it was, let me load it back up. It says, "At the end of the day, people will remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel." And that can mean so many things, but specifically as an entertainer, when you're just playing music, at the end of the day, you're playing music, but you're trying to create emotions and feelings by taking them, on a journey through your music, as Jazzy Jeff would say. And so people tend to remember not whether or not, you know, how your speech was or what exactly you did that evening, but they'll remember the way they felt. And if you can make someone feel good, whether it's through music or even just through a great story. My audiologist, I had to go see her for my in-ear monitors, get a replacement cable. And she told me, she goes, I look forward to seeing when you and come in. And I said, why's that? She goes, because you're always so happy. She goes, I feel like when you leave, I feel better. And that right there is that quote, exactly what that quote means. If you can make someone just feel happy or feel good, they'll remember you for that. So I think that's the best way to end this. At the end of the day, people will remember you for what you said or did. They remember you for how you made them feel. Think about that. Do what you love. Until then, fam, I will see you on the next vlog. Hopefully, it will not be a week. I promise you it will not be a week. I will take some this weekend. So until then, I'll see y'all later.